My car-obsessed friend lost everything because he couldn't stop modding his ride. I had a friend who was a huge car guy. He had a decent job, but he was always spending money on his car. He would buy new parts, get it detailed, and even had a custom paint job done. He was always talking about how he was going to take it to car shows and win prizes. He was always posting pictures of it on social media and talking about how much he loved it. One day he called me and said he needed to talk. We met up and he told me he was in trouble. He had maxed out his credit cards and was behind on his rent. He had spent all his money on his car and now he couldn't afford to pay his bills. He asked me for a loan, but I couldn't help him. I told him he needed to sell his car and get a cheaper one. He refused, saying he couldn't do that. He said his car was his life and he couldn't give it up. A few weeks later, he called me again. He was crying and said he had lost his job. He had been spending so much time working on his car that he had been neglecting his work. He said he was going to lose his apartment and didn't know what to do. I told him he needed to sell his car and use the money to pay his bills. He finally agreed and sold it. He was able to pay off his debts and get back on his feet. He got a new job and a cheaper car. He told me he realized he had been living in a fantasy world and needed to focus on his real life.